Go to the site bobbleheadhall.com, bobbleheadhall.com, and you will learn some things. But let's skip over that for right now and talk to Phil Sklar. He'll tell you some things. Phil, good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
We're doing very well this morning. Tell us a bit about the National Bobblehead Hall of Fame and Museum coming to Milwaukee.
So the other co-founder and I, both from Rockford, Illinois, just announced the National Bobblehead Hall of Fame and Museum about 2 weeks ago, and we're hoping to bring it to Milwaukee. And we're running a Kickstarter campaign to gauge the public interest. But the Bobblehead Hall of Fame and Museum would have the world's largest collection of bobbleheads and all kinds of bobblehead-related exhibits, from the history of bobbleheads to a feature where you could have your picture taken when you come in, and you could leave with a bobblehead of yourself from a 3D bobblehead printer. So there's just all kinds of things that we have planned. Large bobbleheads. There's a 17-foot Conan O'Brien bobblehead out there that we're looking to get. So just everything bobblehead-related coming to Milwaukee.
Now, bobbleheads, when they first came out, seemed like kind of a passing fad, a Beanie Baby-esque measure, perhaps. But they've hung on, and if anything else, perhaps have increased in popularity. You get a lot of sporting teams that build promotional schedules around bobblehead days through the season. What is it about the bobblehead that has maintained its popularity?
It's something. You talk to a lot of teams, and they're just shocked that bobbleheads have stuck around for so long. Since the first one was given away at a sporting event in 1999 at a Giants game, teams really just realized that fans love bobbleheads. They're fun. People enjoy, whether it's their favorite player or mascot or a character from the local area that teams turn into a bobblehead. People just love them. They're free, which is always nice. And last time we went to an Ice Hogs game last year, we got there 15 minutes early before the gates opened, and we didn't get one. Lines were, around the Metro Center. Every entrance was just packed. It was, every year it seems like people want them more and more.
Upon examination, when you think about, all right, we're gonna open up this hall, the Bobblehead Hall of Fame and Museum to go along with it. My first thought was, okay, here we got a couple of guys who've got so many around the house that perhaps the women in their lives are saying, listen, you need to get them out of here. You need to put them someplace. And you went, hey, how about a museum?
Exactly. So we're actually roommates. We've been friends since growing up together in Rockford, and came to Milwaukee, both to school at University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. The collection actually started when the other co-founder, Brad, worked for the Riverhawks as an intern and then in the press box, and just got him for free because he was working there. And soon we started picking up other ones like the Ice Hogs bobbleheads, and then when we came to Milwaukee, we'd pick up and circle the games that had bobblehead giveaways, and the collection grew to about 3,000 a couple months ago, maybe 6 months ago, and that's when we started brainstorming ideas. We could either start selling off ones that we didn't really like, or doing some other things. But we also had experience making custom bobbleheads, and that's the other component of our business, is we're making custom bobbleheads for individuals and organizations. But we developed the idea for the Hall of Fame Museum. Nothing else exists out there, and we're really hoping to bring this unique attraction to Milwaukee, and that's something that people from Chicago, Rockford, all over could really enjoy and come up for a baseball game or basketball game and stop by the museum for an hour or two.
Phil Sklar with us. He is one of the co-founders, National Bobblehead Hall of Fame and Museum. They hope to be coming to Milwaukee. Find out more at bobbleheadhall.com. And some people might think it's kind of I don't want to say a pipe dream, right? But this is a very serious proposition. All you have to do is head to the website and see how much thought and planning has been put into this already before the Kickstarter campaign to realize you have really researched exactly what you want to see and what it's going to take to get this done.
Exactly. There's architectural renderings up to see some examples of what it might look like. There's memberships currently available. We actually had members in 30 states before we even launched a couple weeks ago, which was one of the reasons that we did decide to launch and to do the Kickstarter. One of the key benefits of the founding member is a founding member bobblehead, which actually is coming in tomorrow. So our members will be getting a unique bobblehead. There's actually only 1,500 of the gold edition bobbleheads, and those are selling pretty quick, and we're hoping to have those gone by Christmas time. So it's a lot of exciting things going on. The Kickstarter is picking up momentum, and we just are continuing to tell people about it and share our dream, and hoping that people can contribute even as little as $1 to help make it a reality on Kickstarter.
All right, Phil, if you were faced with that Sophie's Choice, someone came to you and said, all right, we're going to have to get rid of all of your bobbleheads except one. Which one survives the purge?
I guess we'd have to say that first WROK Riverhawk bobblehead, because that was really the first one in the collection. It wouldn't have even started probably without that. I think it was 2003 WROK Riverhawk bobblehead would be the one that stays, even though that probably isn't the most valuable. It's probably the most sentimental to the collection.
All right.
Have you been getting any assistance from the city of Milwaukee or the tourism board in the city in terms of both planning, placement, and things like that?
Yes. Visit Milwaukee is the Convention Visitors Bureau for the city, and they've been extremely helpful. We met with them before we launched, and we've been in constant contact with them, and they've been very, very helpful, and they'll help us throughout the process from spreading the word throughout the Kickstarter campaign through actually building a physical Hall of Fame and museum in the area.
Phil Sklar with us, co-founder, National Bobblehead Hall of Fame and Museum. Bobbleheadhall.com is the website. Both these guys are originally from Rockford, now up in Milwaukee, trying to get this off the ground. How do you begin to project potential visitor numbers? How do you judge what the demand is for a place like this?
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons we started with the Kickstarter. It really helps us gauge, if there is a substantial interest, or if this is more of something that's going to draw people who have 10, 20, or 2,000 bobbleheads. We know that from what we've heard, the feedback has been great. People want to see it. Even the non-bobblehead collectors think it's going to be something fun to go to, spend an hour or two and check out all the different bobbleheads in the exhibits and get a potentially 3D bobblehead printed of yourself. There is a demand there. We're confident of that. We had Northwestern University students did a market research study, which helped prove that demand. That was several months ago as well. And just the demand through the pre-sale before we announced was very significant. So it's just gauging how big of a space we need and how big of a demand. We don't want to build something huge and then have it fall off, but also we don't want to build something too small and not be able to showcase the collection. And we're getting a lot of interest from people who are donating bobbleheads. We've already had several donations, and teams across the country are sending bobbleheads to be included in the Hall of Fame and Museum. So that's another sign that people are pretty excited about what's going on.
When you gauge the level of interest too, Phil, is it intrinsically American? Are folks overseas just as wild about the bobblehead as we are here?
It is more focused in America. You don't see many bobblehead giveaways in other countries, although there are more now than there were before, and it's picking up a bit. There's outside of the U.S., there's a little more interest in the pop culture bobbleheads, some of the superhero bobbleheads, and bobbleheads of movie characters and things like that. So those will also be included in the Hall of Fame and Museum. It's not going to be just a sports showcase. It'll be anything bobblehead-related.
All things and everything bobblehead. I like it. Yeah. All right, you want to find out more, go right to the website, bobbleheadhall.com, bobbleheadhall.com. You will learn a whole bunch. You can look through the virtuals there, and we wish you a ton of success with this, Phil. I hope this all comes to fruition. We'd love to come up and have a tour.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. We'd love to have you in 2016 when it opens, and hopefully it'll be a great thing for people in Rockford to come and see what two Rockford guys did.
Outstanding. Phil, thanks for your time.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
You too.
Thanks.
There's Phil Sklar, National Bobblehead Hall of Fame and Museum, coming to Milwaukee.
There are stranger Hall of Fames out there.
Oh, absolutely. First mention of a bobblehead I learned from the site, 1842, a Russian writer mentioned something like a bobbleheaded figure that had a head like a plaster-necked cat that wiggles its head. So apparently, even in 1842 Russia, there was a type of bobblehead.
I was at a Sox game some years ago, and it may have been the Frank Thomas bobblehead day. Could have been when they retired his number. Anyway, only the first 12,000, 20,000, whatever got bobbleheads, full house that day. not only did they go up on eBay immediately, I actually saw some cash transactions go down in the seats.
Hey, buddy.
Among the fans. What's it going to take to... Yeah. Well, you seen the commercial for Wells Fargo? Where, I mean, I know almost all banks have this now, where you can pay, transfer, and the woman sits down, and in front of her is the guy with the giant helmet on his head, and she offers to buy it from him, and they conduct the transaction. Then he pulls out the massive foam finger that he's waving, and her friend says, I've got this one. So those kind of, the negotiations, the transactions were going down in the stands that day over the Frank Thomas bobbleheads at U.S. Cellular Field.
See, like I said, when we heard about this springing up, I instantly thought this is one of those, all right, look, man, we have no place to sit in this house. There is not one flat space in our entire apartment. Right. Get rid of these or find some place to put them.
And where do you think those donations are coming from? You had better get those bobbleheads out of here by the end of the week. I'm not going to throw them out.
That's not my problem now, is it? Now, just get online and get some, come up with a museum for them. You guys have always talked about how cool it would be. Go do it. But I don't have a place to set anything down around here.
Every time I try to set something down, it bobbles.
Exactly.